Available now on Nintendo eShop.
As far as I know, Super Metroid is still considered to be the best 2D Metroid game. And Prime 1, the best 3D game. Nintendo Switch Online. Place your bets now. Game Boy, N64. Something more? Yeah, new membership. This is what I thought. They're going to add a second pricing tier. Which is unfortunate, but... Nintendo 64. Oh. That music still gets me. That music still gets me. Yoshi's Story. What was that? Star Fox 64, cool. Mario Kart 64. Dr. Mario 64! Mario Tennis, yes! Oh my god, the Smasterpieces guys are gonna flip when they see that playable Dr. Mario 64 is on Nintendo Switch. Mega Drive! Yes! Oh, I was thinking maybe. Oh, Echo the Dolphin can get lost. Sonic 1, that'll be yet another copy of Sonic 1 I own. Sonic 1's already on the Switch. Is it going to have Sonic 3 and Knuckles though? I wanted GameCube games too, Billy, but this is the next step. We're one step closer to the GameCube. No mention of any rare games or anything like that. If ever they were going to add Banjo-Kazooie to the Switch, this is how they would do it. Right, to announce the games that will be available when it launches. Here we go. Dr. Mario 64. Oh, was that Sin and Punishment? Sonic 1, Sonic 2. Just Sonic 1, Sonic 2. Majora's Mask. F-Zero X, good. Banjo-Kazooie! Banjo-Kazooie's on the Switch! How can they just drop that casually? Banjo-Kazooie is on the Nintendo Switch! Oh wow, they're making a Mega Drive controller! Wow! Banjo-Kazooie's on the Switch! Ah! Portable Banjo-Kazooie! I am getting that membership, I don't care! My favourite game of all time is on the Switch! 3-button Mega Drive controller, best controller. I just had Christmas. Yes. Oh my god.
Cyberpunk meets fantasy in this 3-game collection of cult classic RPGs. As a Shadowrunner mercenary, you'll explore a dystopian future where magic has
reawakened. It will be the original Banjo-Kazooie as well. It won't be the Xbox version. I wonder if they'll add in any of the Xbox version's enhancements, or if they'll keep the original N64 preserved. I also wonder if that means I'll be able to do the stop and swap.
The perpetual struggle against Count Dracula.
So many questions.
Castlevania Advance Collection.
Castlevania Advance Collection, that was rumored / leaked.
With deathly beautiful graphics and hauntingly epic music. The rewind.
The thing is, this will be the first ever official port of the Banjo-Kazooie N64 game. The first ever port of the N64 version.
Launches on Nintendo Switch shortly after this presentation.
Yeah. Banjo-Kazooie's on the Switch. Banjo-Kazooie is coming to the Switch. The original Nintendo 64 version, for the first time ever. A port of the Nintendo 64 version of Banjo-Kazooie. Arguably the inferior version these days, but it doesn't matter. Banjo-Kazooie is back on a Nintendo console for the first time in, I want to say, is it 18 years, 20 years? I don't know when Grunty's Revenge came out. Banjo Pilot was 2005, so 16 years since Banjo was last on the Smash. Yes, yes, Dr. Mario 64 on the Switch. Ha, 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 ha. Oh, I laughed so hard when that happened, Matt. Ha, ha, ha. That was incredible. Genesis is also the technically the Smash to Pieces curse. I mean, yeah, I guess, but was that one game? How many Mega Drive games did you play? Was it just Sonic 2? There weren't any others, were there? What keeps happening? So what keeps happening is that Smash to Pieces obviously are playing through all the games on their list in release order, starting with Duck Hunt in 1984 on the NES and moving forward. And it seems like just as Smash to Pieces finish with a console, it gets added to Nintendo Switch Online. So they finished with the NES, it got added to Switch Online. They finished the SNES, where, they're having to play all their games on emulators because they don't actually have access to the actual hardware. They finished with the SNES, it got added to Nintendo Switch Online. They have just finished the Nintendo 64 like 4 or 5 months ago, and one of the last games was Dr. Mario 64, which is very hard to get hold of other than on an emulator. And it's now coming to Nintendo Switch Online. Oh my god, it's like they're watching and listening and waiting. Oh my god. I mean, I am obviously buying the premium rate subscription because I want to have portable Banjo-Kazooie for the first time in my life. That's worth it alone for me. The fact that I can practice speedrunning that game on my Switch, when I go home for Christmas and things like that. That's like practicing Banjo-Kazooie speedruns on my couch. Yes, please. Sonic 1 wasn't in the NSO lineup probably because of the music royalties. Sonic 3, I'm guessing you mean. Sonic 1 and 2 were definitely in there. They showed a clip of Green Hill Zone. Or was that Emerald Hill Zone? Either way, Sonic 1 and 2 were both in that collection they showed of like the 10, 12 games or whatever it was. I'm pretty sure anyway. I'm going to stop this spinning thing. Actually, no, I don't know how. Can I go back to... Let's have a look. I'm gonna mute this and we're just going to go back and scroll through it. Maybe what Sonic was only an EU lineup. Let's have a look at where would it have been. It was earlier than ActRaiser. Oh yeah, Deltarune, not a surprise. That Disney game is going to sell millions, you just know it. Animal Crossing Direct. That Kirby game looks incredible. That Kirby game looks basically like... that Kirby game just looks like Super Mario Odyssey with Kirby in it. No, that's not the way... have I missed it? I don't have a timestamp or anything, so I'm kind of hoping that... Metroid... Oh, no, there it was. Okay. Yeah. It'll take a long time to load because it's in 480p. Okay, it was a little before that. Sonic 1 was definitely not in the US stream. Play a collection of games from the Sega Mega Drive. Echo the Dolphin can go to hell. No, that's Sonic 2. That is Sonic 2. That's Emerald Hill Zone. But then I've never known Sonic 1 to be an issue with music royalties because Masato Nakamura did the music for Sonic 1 and 2. So I'm not entirely sure why Sonic 1 would have a problem and Sonic 2 wouldn't. I don't think they'll give us the PAL version. The PAL version was literally every port of Sonic 1 and 2 that we've ever had since the original Mega Drive has not been the PAL version. It's been the You got the better things. Yeah, I prefer watching the UK version because I can read and talk at the same time. I don't have to worry about missing something that the dub says. Okay, hang on. Let's just take a minute to bask in that Dr. Mario 64 being there, and just take a minute to mock the gang from Smash to Pieces. Also, they're still calling it Lilac Wars. Interesting. That is Sin and Punishment. So they're still doing foreign games or games that were never released here, which is interesting. And wait for it. Oh no, you're right. It is only Sonic 2. Interesting. I don't know why I saw Sonic 1 in there. I saw the two Sonic games, and the other one is Mean Bean Machine. I don't know why. I obviously thought I saw. Yeah. Okay. So Sonic 1 is not. That's really weird. Why is Sonic 1 not in this list? It's the Mega Drive game. It's very, very strange. Unless they don't want to put too many of the Sonic games on the service because Sonic Origins is coming out. Why are these games in a different order than the US stream? They're not in any sort of alphabetical order or anything like that. Are they all the same games? Gunstar Heroes, Shinobi 3. It seems like the standard sort of stuff that you get from these things. It's like the Virtual Console, I'm pretty sure, had all of these. No excuse to avoid Lilac Wars now, yeah. Hey, Fastby. Hang on. F-Zero X, yeah. There it is. The original Nintendo 64 version ported to another console for the first time ever. We're going to have to try not to die or we lose all our 100 notes again. We're not going to get sewer shock for the Sega CD. Oh, Mario, if you haven't played Mario Tennis on the N64, by the way, Mario Tennis on the N64 is amazing. It is the most pure of the Mario Tennis games, but it's brilliant. It's also the first ever game to feature Waluigi, and he has had just as much character development since it came out as he did when it came out. He was literally introduced to be Wario's doubles partner. He has no other character development other than that, and that is why he does not deserve to be a playable character in Smash Brothers. I've already died on that hill many times. I'm also wondering how Stop and Swap is going to work. Also, one of the things about Banjo-Kazooie on the Nintendo 64 is that when you do the cheat codes to unlock the Stop and Swap and collect all the eggs, once you do that on your cartridge, you can never undo it. Once you unlock those codes and you unlock those extra areas and collect the eggs, you can only do it once and you can never do it again on your cartridge. I'm wondering if the NSO version is going to have it so that you can do Stop and Swap over and over and over again. And if maybe one day they'll release Banjo-Tooie, and I wonder if they'll connect somehow. Probably not, because knowing Nintendo, it will be the bare minimum. I was honestly gobsmacked when they released Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles on the Wii Virtual Console and made them connect together. I was genuinely not expecting them to actually go to that effort. I do not expect them to go to that effort with Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Also, can we just say for a minute, the Majora's Mask box art for the European version is the best. Let's just accept that. The Majora's Mask box art for the European version of that game is the best. Why would you want to do it more than once? Because it was something that when you play through Banjo-Kazooie as a kid, you get to the end, Mumbo shows you these videos of you going into secret areas in the levels that you couldn't get to before and says you'll be able to unlock them in the sequel. And then the sequel came out and you couldn't because they found out that the hardware didn't allow you to. And then many years later, it was a good 5 or 6 years after the game came out, someone found out that they had actually implemented cheat codes in the game that you could enter to unlock all the levels within the game without needing to connect it to anything else. And that was a huge deal if you played Banjo-Kazooie back in 1998. These areas that you thought you could never access to, that were lost to, lost to development hell, they were absurdly long. They were something like 30 characters at least, or 40 characters. It was like a little rhyme that you had to type in. And you could suddenly access these areas. So of course, when everyone found these codes, they went onto the internet, they were published in magazines. Everybody went and did them and unlocked them, collected all the eggs, which is completely pointless because all you get is a stat screen on your pause menu that just has all the 6 eggs and the ice key. And then you realize that once they're unlocked, you can't delete your save file and unlock them again. Once they're unlocked, that's it. You can't turn it off. So if you do speedruns on your game, the mountain in Treasure Trove Cove is always there. The door at the back of Gobi's Valley is always open. The chamber to the ice key is always open. It is never shut again. And the thing about that's why I'm curious to know if the version on Nintendo 64 will have all those features implemented. And if so, because it is like a ROM that you play online, you're basically accessing it for the first time every time. Will you be able to just access those again? Because I would love to just do that again, just for nostalgia's sake. You can at least delete the entire NSO save file for this. Exactly, yeah. So there should be no record of you doing this. Anyway, So how many of the Masterpieces N64 games did we actually see on this list? We've got Mario 64, we've got Ocarina of Time, we've got Lilac Wars, Yoshi's Story, Dr. Mario 64. That's 5 of the Masterpieces N64 games right there. And then we've got a 6th Masterpieces game in that list. Until, of course, Echo the Dolphin is announced for Smash Brothers next month. There's the 7th. We're not going to see that one. So we've got 7. Banjo-Kazooie was a bonus episode. There's the 8th, Kirby 64. And there's the 9th, Pokemon Snap. Ah, having a save state in N64 game sounds baller. That's a good point, actually. So it's not going to be as bad for Banjo-Kazooie dying in Rusty Bucket Bay's engine room over and over and over again and losing all your notes. Because you could just rewind. N64 games with a rewind feature.